Okay, we're live. Just make sure I stay live, guys. Call it December 13th, 2021 Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting to order with roll call, please. David.
Here.
Melanie. Craig.
Here.
Becky. Here. Jay.
Here.
Andy.
Here.
Motion to excuse Melanie.
Yeah, that motion.
Second.
David. Jay. Roll call. David.
Yes.
Craig.
Yes.
Becky. Yes. Jay.
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Motion's passed. Okay, Dave, you want to lead us in prayer, please?
Lord, be with the people tonight in Kentucky and all over it was in that horrible tornado, Lord, and touch them and know that they're not alone through the thing. And Lord, be with our village tonight as we prepare to make decisions for our village. And let's not forget the real reason for the season, your wonderful birth in Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Whoops, sorry. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have a motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting that was held on November 17th, 2021, a safety block watch work session held on November 22nd, 2021, and a council meeting held on November 22nd, 2021.
Motion. Second. Oh,
So that was Jay, Andy?
sure.
Is that?
Sure.
is that right?
That's fine.
Roll call? Okay, David?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
Mayor's report. At this time, I would just like to thank our council member Craig and Melanie, even though she's not here, for their service to the village of Mount Sterling. You signed up and it was an interesting ride. We appreciate everything that you brought to the table, both you and Melanie. I know we all win some, we lose some, but we appreciate the time and the dedication that you gave forth to this village. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Pro Tem, Jay.
Yeah, as we're approaching the end of the year, just want to thank the committees, thank the council members for just taking on the hard job. We've been selected and elected to really face a lot of hard issues, some easy issues that brought up some debates, some arguments, things like that. But we know because we have such a passion for this village. And so I appreciate everybody for what they've done. So first off, thank you for all your service here and taking those times. Other than that, like I said, just a few committees were canceled, but we had a couple. So I'll let those committees speak for themselves. But again, just thank you for this year and look forward to what we have coming up for next year.
Thank you. No public comments or visitors, executive session, we have none. That takes us to our department reports with sheriff report, Deputy Dill.
Okay, you got the report in front of you. Is there any questions on that?
Yeah, it seems that we were pretty active here the last week or two
We've been,
with a lot of.
yeah. Yeah, the village of Mount Sterling's had a lot going on. The parade, I'm sure you guys will touch on that, but it was a huge, huge turnout. The deputies that worked it were all impressed. They loved it. So kudos to whoever put that on. Was that the chamber that put that on? That was very nice. They said it was very enjoyable, even to be standing just watching. They said they loved it. I will touch on one thing. The village lost one of its members today. He was kind of a nuisance, but yet he was a guy that had a heart of gold. He meant well in everything he done. He just had some issues he dealt with his own way, but it was very sad. And just want to let the village know that we won't be seeing him around. So if you don't know who it is, you can ask somebody, I'm sure they'll tell you.
Did he pass away today, Jack? I know you're talking about.
Between Saturday and today.
Well, if I may too, I know we have some council member in particular and some other businesses in the community that were very indulging but I was always looking out. So for that kindness that you showed him, I do appreciate very much. Because I know it couldn't be easy. It was hard for us sometimes in the front lobby because
He was a regular.
he was a regular and
He'd come across the street from somewhere.
regular visits, but maybe not regular showers, but God love him, always made me smile even when he irritated me, so I wish I would have known him a little bit longer, and I wish that, we have those people in our lives that we wish that we can help them. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't,
He didn't want help, but he was more than willing to help somebody.
Yes,
If he could.
absolutely.
I helped him many times get back up when he fell down.
Oh, yeah.
And he would, and sometimes he just lied, but he was always, well, he'll be missed.
Yeah.
He was a town legend.
He is a town legend.
Yeah.
But that's all I have, so nobody has any questions? Thank
Hey,
you.
Jack, did we have anything going when the electric went off, or was it pretty quiet?
It was pretty quiet.
Okay.
I was here just to speak about that. So the sheriff's department reached out to me. The traffic lights were out, so I was here early in the morning, and he was able to come in here because it was me, so I didn't have much of a light. So he was able to assist getting the generator popped on and conduct.
Did it come on by itself? The generator?
I had to manually put it on.
The generator?
Yeah. So he was able to help. Wanted to make sure traffic, obviously it was early in the morning, so traffic wasn't too bad, but we were just monitoring that. But
Is that something we can have the village workers do, like just once a month maintenance, just to,
Well, it's
Run
maintained
the-
yearly, so every 6 months. We just had it done actually a couple months ago when the electric went out the last time.
right, but I'm sure the batteries are probably low, that's probably why it didn't kick on.
No, it had something to do with oil, is what the generator place said. But we can talk about that.
Yeah, just, I'd like to see that kind of, because that gets pretty hectic when there's no traffic lights out there.
But the traffic lights can be put on manual, and that's what I had done, is place them on manual, so all was good.
Thank you.
Thank you. That takes us to law director. Do you have anything for?
I do not.
And utilities, we don't have her today. Zoning, you've got a couple things?
Yep, I have a few things. So this was, I think, a question that was mentioned by Jay at the last meeting, and then handled at Andy's level, at the Planning and Zoning Committee level. So I just wanted to read out as far as what permits have been issued. So I'm showing here residential permits. There were 30 that have been issued.
And these are years to date.
Right, okay, year to date, okay. And then new dwellings, we had 11. Commercial permits, 4. Right-of-way permits, 1. Zoning permits, 24. And variances, 9. So a lot of these are something that are similar to what we talk about in our committee meetings. So that's a lot, and I kind of want to touch base back on the new dwelling. Those are the new lots out there for Deer Creek Run Phase 2. Those were 11 of them. So those are new builds that will be happening. So I know I've been taking phone calls in regards to plumbing and electrical questions that they have, and we're working with the fire department to make sure that the hydrants are turned on and are correctly positioned. So we're looking to get that taken care of. I also wanted to let everybody know that the building and zoning, obviously, department, he wanted to bring attention to the new Madison County Auditor's website and Zoom into the community. That basically they have a political layer that you can scroll through now on the auditor's website to talk about zoning. So this allows you to see what the parcels have been zoned as, and that's what we approved, some months ago. So now we are on there just like West Jeff is, London is, and Plain City. So feel free to ask any questions that you may have, give those to me, and then I can forward those on to the department. But the public should know that you are able to view those overlays of zoning now. So if anybody has any questions about that, feel free to let me know, and I can direct those. But that's a good win. So if somebody wants to build industrial, commercial, or residential, they'll already have that on the website, on the auditor's website.
Very good. Fiscal officer, that's you.
That would be me. So I don't have a lot to talk about. I didn't receive any comments or questions over the weekend, since Friday, since the packets were sent. Let's see. We are ending the year. I will be happy to say that appropriations are only at 67%, which is well below. We should be rounding out the year at 100% on most of these. So not a lot of expenditures. What you will see in your next, to the new members that will be on here, in January, you will see all the loan payments that will be processed through. I intend to process those probably this week. So again, I'm pretty satisfied. The auditors are pretty satisfied with how the year is ending. Revenues have been well above budget for several months now. So that's really good news. And we are set to pass our last reading on our remainder of 2022 budget. What you have in front of you, obviously, is your November reports. I will be passing around and asking for approval for the bank reconciliation for November. But again, I don't see anything that's alarming. The auditors, of course, receive these reports weekly. There is no alarm to that. Our next Financial Commission Committee meeting will be on January the 25th at 10 a.m. here at Town Hall. If that location changes due to the pandemic, obviously that will be advertised, on our website. But other than that, I don't have a lot of new or different things that you guys have noticed anything on here. But if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to approve the appropriation status report, the revenue status, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated, the cash summary by fund, the reader report, and your bank reconciliation for November of 2021. The only item that you'll see on here is a return check from our water department.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
So that was Craig, David,
Roll call.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Okay, so I will pass the bank reconciliation and your signatures for the reports and minutes, if you could sign those, please.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I also wanted to thank, I maybe could try and do this at the round table, but since I'm already on it, I wanted to thank the American Legion here in town for their great and generous donation in regards to providing gift cards to Meadowview. So we had 39 residents that I had asked at our last meeting to donate if they would like to, any Christmas cards or minimal donations, and that's, the Dollar General is where they normally like to shop. So I do want to give a big thank you to them. They are one of our top donators in Mount Sterling, so I wanted to thank them and thank them for making their Christmas down at Meadowview very blessed. So I just wanted to thank them for that. And I'm accepting any Christmas cards if you guys have any laying around that you just want. You don't have to sign it. You can just say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I'm going to be taking them down probably this Friday because they'll be having a holiday little lunch dinner. So if anybody has any Christmas cards laying around, they do just like to open Christmas cards. So if you don't feel comfortable putting their name in there, just a happy, nice little holiday cheer for them, that would be great. And I'll be collecting those until, let's just say Thursday, because I got to be there Friday. So,
It's about 40, right?
yeah, 39. So if you want to, pass me a note, come to Town Hall, I'm here. Just drop it into the lockbox if you want, or just reach out to me and let me know, and I'll be glad to take those for you.
That takes us to committee reports. Finance, Andy?
We met this morning to consider the last, basically, the last set of financials for the remainder of the year. 67% of utilization is not a bad number at all. And yes, we could have spent quite a bit more, but at the end of all of it, we need a carryover and a balance to get us into a pretty uncertain 2022. And we know today that there's going to be quite a large number of big projects that we want to do. And so we ended the year in a pretty solid footing. The village is in good shape. It's very solvent. It's pointed the right direction, and we have a pretty darn exciting 2022. I would like to personally thank all of the folks who served on the Finance Committee this year and who came into the Finance Committee, gave their thoughts about what we were doing. It means a lot to have involvement. This stuff is incredibly dense, right, Courtney? And it's really hard sometimes to unwind as to why things are the way that they are. But at the end of all of it, we sit with a pretty solid number, and we're going to finish 2021 out on a pretty positive note. So come back to us next year. We'll see more. That's all I have to report, and we'll figure out what the new dates for finance will be sometime next year.
Pleasant Township, Melanie is not here. Squad, Jay?
Yes, met last Wednesday. So just a few highlights. Wasn't the most, what do you call it, exciting meeting. Mainly just talking about pay. Right now, just some of the numbers. We're increasing the volunteer pay by $5 a shift, which is usually 6 hours. So each volunteer gets about, or was getting $55 for 6 hours, but they'll, starting next year, be getting $60 per 6 hour shift. Increase the part-time to $2 and $2 more an hour. That's across the board. Each pay scale, it's just kind of like just different sides of the scale. Besides full-time is $2 more an hour across the board. I also discussed temporary appropriations for 2022 and the budget. Medical insurance was renewed with Anthem, about a 3% increase with them. Just that's always fun to discuss. Like I said, exciting stuff. But right now we're holding off on talking full-time. We did have a couple of full-time members bring up the concern for pay increase. So of course, as a board, you'll have to have a little more in depth and discuss it and look at your finances. So just looking at for next year, I'll just say just been serving on this, I guess, committee or the board for the last 2 years, and it's been an honor serving with them, and hopefully possibly next year serving with them again. We have a great team over there. Chief Taylor has done a phenomenal job, you know, looking after them financially, looking after them just in all aspects of that. It's not fun when I mean, it is fun, but at the same time, you're working with a bunch of different personalities on different units, different shifts, and you got to deal with very interesting scenarios. He's been great to work with, and I respect him very much and what he does for this community as well. And also, like I said, all the paramedics, all the volunteers, everybody that I've run into over there are just great people over there. And I'm very proud of what they do for this village and serving and protecting our village as well. And that's all I have to report.
Okay, thank you. Fire, Craig?
Yes, they got their bids back for their mask and accessories to the mask. And as we were going over them at the last meeting, they found that as they broke them down, they needed to make sure that everything they wanted. So the chief had to take an extra week and a half there to go over all of them. And so we had a special meeting the 9th of December, and the chief came back and he had went over and they found that one of them had everything they wanted. And it was actually $10,000 less than their grant. So they took that one.
Well, of course.
And so, but they also are going to be able to use this money for the grant. They're called RIP packs. They're like bottles of oxygen that they can take to the site if they need it, and, you know, they'd have one extras. And so they'll be looking to get them. They have to go through take that money and go back through the grant plan. But yeah, that's all I have there. We have another meeting this coming month, at the end of the month.
Water, wastewater?
We had no meeting. There was really nothing pending. We did get the street started that one day. So other than that, that's all I had.
want to talk about that now or later or not?
No, I mean, everybody's noticed it by now, right? Traffic pattern changes, it will be changing. They're here 6 to 8 weeks. I think I said all this in the last meeting. So just be patient, please, when you're when you're going down to 56, that there will be some pattern changes. So what it is today may not be what it is tomorrow. So they will have to cross the road. So please be patient and please be cautious. There's people working in the road. There's no parking on certain sides of the streets. So if you have any reports or issues, please report those. But right now, traffic will be at least 2 lanes at all times. But again, can't guarantee that.
Street, Andy.
We didn't meet last week. We didn't have anything immediately pending in terms of business as far as sort of streets over the winter. As everybody knows, we're really focused on plowing, so we've only had a little bit of snow so far, but we do have enough salt, in case anyone is wondering. We have a giant storehouse of it, so we're very fortunate to have managed our salt consumption last year. So we're looking forward to that aspect and really getting going in January when the money frees up and we can start planning as to when to do road work. That's all I got.
Parks and Rec, Melanie is not here. Is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, we had a meeting on December the 6th, and we just discussed the open house that we had, which was really successful. I think we already talked about that, but the people that came were really enthused. So in that meeting, we got a Friends of the Park committee started, and I did want to tell everyone it's just getting started. Deanna Pettit is going to be leading that committee, and I just got an email from her today that she is having her first committee meeting on December the 23rd at 6 o'clock. Did you remember if it's here?
It is here.
Okay, so it's here. So if you haven't signed up and you'd like to be involved in fundraising for the park, next year, we're going to have a big push because we are in line for a grant. And we did find out that the grant, we don't have to have paperwork turned in until mid-March, so that's good. So we have time to raise a lot of money, and the more money we raise, the more hopeful we are, the larger the grant will be. So if we have, and I will say, Hammer Time and Dee did a fundraiser during Christmas in the Village, and I believe $600 or $700 they raised through just a chili cook-off, so that was great. And she has an event planned for January, February, and March already, but when she meets with that committee, she's open to all kinds of ideas. I know they're going to start distributing letters to businesses and corporations, so she's really excited, and so I hope that if you would like to be on that committee or be a part of that, that maybe you can show up the 23rd. I know Christmas is right around the corner, but she promised the meeting wouldn't be very long, maybe about an hour, so 6 o'clock on December the 23rd, and that is a Thursday.
Yeah, she said she'd have him the fourth Thursday of every month.
Yeah, it'll be the fourth Thursday every month, so you won't be overwhelmed if you want to be a part of the committee. It's only going to be once a month. Now, when you're having a fundraiser, she may call all hands on deck. But, so hopefully, we can get some more people to sign up to be a part of that. And then, another thing we talked about with the survey results, we put out, the mayor started a survey on things people would like to see at the park. And we didn't have a lot of feedback yet, but we decided to keep those out and just keep those surveys going for a while, because since we found out that March is our deadline, we thought that would give us more time. So they are out in the lobby at Town Hall here, out on the little podium or shelf or whatever that is out there. And we talked about trying to spread those around in some businesses too. So if you want to fill out a survey just on what you would like to see at the park, please take the time to do that. It's a really quick survey, like 5
And
minutes.
I will repost it on the mayor's page. If you don't want to physically fill it out, you could go online and fill it out. I forgot to bring the paper with me, or I'd tell you what it is, but look there.
It's on the website though,
Yeah.
too. The link is.
Yeah, oh, okay, good, yep.
Okay, and due to Melanie leaving council at the end of this month, there's no Parks and Rec meeting scheduled yet for next month.
Record of retention, Andy.
We have not actually met this month yet. We hope to. I need to just make sure that our intrepid fellow committee folks are available after sort of the holidays. So last month was November 27th, we met and made some good progress, continue to make good progress by meeting once a month, and hope to continue that in the new year.
Nuisance and abatement, Jay?
Yeah, we didn't have a meeting this last month or this month, but I said the committee has been a fantastic job of calling in things, keeping alert. I know residents have been calling in things. For one, want to thank Deputy Jack Dill. I guess we had some disgruntled but very frustrated residents with some parked vehicles that are just sitting on the streets. So we got some calls and some vehicles addressed, so thank you for addressing those. But other than that, like I said, we look forward to next year and kind of just developing this nuisance and abatement committee, and that's it.
Can I add something real quick?
Go right ahead.
Okay, so a lot of the phone calls, I know Jack and I have been working on, I know he's been citing it on public roadways. So of course, they're calling in here, and I'm speaking with them, so I'm still, issuing tags. The residents are not aware that if you have a parked car on a public roadway, so we're not talking about in somebody's driveway or in the garage. If you are on a public roadway and you have it parked there, it has to be moved every 24 hours. Okay? So I know, we talked about, we've chopped several vehicles as well, we've had them towed. A lot of phone calls were coming in on Friday about that. If they have expired tags, you are notified, but if you do not take care of that, it will be towed and you will get cited for that. So, Jack, you want to add anything to that?
The way they're notified is the tag.
Right.
It's a big yellow tag. I put it right on your windshield. And it's not my job to look at your car to see if there's a tag on it. And once I've tagged it, I'm not gonna come to your door and knock on
Right.
your door. So if you don't move your car in 24 hours, you're not gonna see the tag. Well, if you wake up the next day and your car's not there, the tag's still on your car at the impound lot, so.
Right. Well, I mean, and if you're working on your vehicle, a lot of those I've been seeing, I mean, obviously there's one right behind Town Hall here, that we've been working on. And you can't leave your car on blocks of any sort as well, so. Anywhere. So we need to just pay attention to that, is that, when you're calling in and you're upset that your car's no longer there, Jack's citing you on public roadway, so please, if you have any questions, please call in Town Hall. We can help you, work through it, but.
Well, I'll work with them.
Yeah.
But don't get upset when I've given you 5 days to move your car
Right.
and you didn't do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about how your car is parked there and how long it's parked there, it's 24 hours, it has to be moved. And I know that in some cases, we have chalked them,
Right.
so
And-
just pay attention to that.
We get the cat and mouse game. We'll move it 6 inches, it's moved.
So if you have a car that's not operable, that's another citation, okay?
Safety block watch, Becky.
Yes, we just had a meeting a few days ago, and just discussed a lot of concerns, talked about moving forward with actually forming in the spring, block watch again. We talked about just the enforcement of the 2-hour parking on the streets, and the enforcement of when we start having snow, that you do need to pay attention to the signs when there's snow. It kind of is a cross between streets, a cross between nuisance, a cross between safety committees of a lot of these things. But when there's snow, just make sure you move your vehicle because,
We had a few last year that got buried up, didn't
Oh,
we?
yeah, they got buried.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few that got buried, but yeah.
yeah.
And that's definitely not fun.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
You know.
and they call and complain about it. Well, sorry, but
If,
signs there.
yeah, if it's posted, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The 2-inch warning, yeah.
Yeah, and, yeah, we just, finished up the year strong, I feel like, and, again, being the end of the year, we don't know, who will be chairing that committee, so don't know when the next meeting will be, but, yeah.
Thank you. Planning and zoning, Andy.
Nothing really to report. Thank you for the numbers, by the way. I really appreciate that. We're going to end with a shout out to the folks who served on that committee, almost all of whom are community members, and we're meeting twice a month. And we're doing it regularly to support their fellow citizens and get business done, and they did over the course of the year. And we lost a member too this year, and our hearts go out. But I want to thank everyone for their service. They put in a lot. This village has significantly changed as a result of their hard work, and we can see it. You can actually, do business with the village in a meaningful way now when it comes to building and zoning, and I'm really, really thankful for their efforts. So we will be meeting here shortly, next week, on the 21st, to consider some business, just relatively routine stuff, finish the year out, and we're done. And I wish everybody a happy holiday.
And to, Tom Hale and Chris.
Yes.
They really have done. tremendous things
Thanks to both
in
of
regards
them,
to
because
fees and-
this committee could not have
Yeah.
done everything that it did. We received just an amazing amount of support from them over the course of the year. Our entire new zoning map, was not going to happen without their involvement and support. And just their ability to keep things running and interact with everybody at a village level has been phenomenal. We really, really appreciate that.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to cancel our council meeting to be held on December 27th. We normally do, I guess, cancel that last meeting because of the proximity of where it lands, and so would anybody,
You have that motion?
alrighty? Is there a second?
I'll second.
David, Becky,
Roll call?
Craig,
Yeah.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes?
David.
Yes.
Very good. Takes us to ordinances and resolutions. Bring it home, sister.
All right, so we have two ordinances. All of our legislations are going to be placed on the third reading, okay? So the first one, all three of them are no surprise. But the first ordinance we have is 2021-20, an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Mount Sterling, the state of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. This is on the third reading.
Do I have a motion for the third reading?
You got that?
Second.
Andy, Becky,
Roll call?
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
and Craig.
Yes.
Okay, now I need a motion for passage of ordinance 2021-20.
You have that motion?
Okay,
Second?
David, Jay,
yes. Roll call?
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2021-20 has passed.
Good.
All right, the last ordinance we have in third reading is for ordinance 2021-21. An ordinance allowing fiscal officer to transfer funds from the water operating OWDA fund to the water operating fund, and to transfer funds from the sewer operating OWDA fund to the sewer operating fund.
Motion.
That's Becky.
Second.
Craig.
Roll call?
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Jay.
Yes.
Now we need a motion for passage of ordinance 2021-21.
You have, I'll second.
So Craig was first? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, David was second?
Yeah. Roll call?
David,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2021-21 has passed. And the final piece of legislation is a resolution, and that would be resolution 2021-08. A resolution authorizing Marcy Darlington, the mayor, or her designee to enter into an agreement with Rumpke Waste Services for the village's solid waste collection and disposal.
Motion?
Second?
Roll call?
Jay, Andy? Pardon me. Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
and David.
Yes,
Now we need a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-08.
have that motion.
Okay, that was David first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Craig was second?
yes.
Sorry, I can't see.
Craig's trying to get in as many as he can.
Okay, roll call, so that was David first, Craig second.
Yeah.
Roll call,
Yes,
Becky?
please.
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes,
Craig.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2021-08 has passed.
Well, that takes us to roundtable, end of the year roundtable. Anyone?
on the round table, the American Legion would like to thank the council's support. They told, being one of the commanders, I wanted to say this, we got our flags up this year, and I really liked how many people turned out on November 11th. For a weekday and stuff, it was really great, and so great to see all those service flags. And one more thing, I gotta do this. I'm gonna put on my red nose and wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Very good. Oh, my.
I have something I just wanted to talk about, and it's already been touched on a bit, but the recent Christmas in the Village, just this past week. It was amazing, like Jack said. I mean, hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 people came from all over. I will tell you, somehow we captured different locations that people came from. I forget what they were signing up for. What were they signing up for?
The tree voting.
Yeah. So many good things were done through that. Again, I first want to thank the Chamber of Commerce. A lot of hard work went into that. I want to thank the Masons. Tom Corbin did a great job announcing that parade. Thank you to my fellow council members who out there helped move the barriers during the parade. We never expected that kind of turnout. It just kept growing and growing, and I believe we had over 40 entrants into the parade. I want to thank the Sheriff's Department for the good job they did, the fire, the EMT, they were all in the parade. And other businesses, Courtney mentioned the American Legion donated very generously. Again, the petting zoo was thanks to them. They gave a lot towards the Giving Tree. The Giving Tree is still in Town Hall lobby. If anyone needs hats, mittens, there's still some out there. Please help yourself. Also, the Sterling Eye Care donated towards the Giving Tree. Reiterman's, I think they paid for the caricature artist, and that was free to everybody. Urban Pineapple paid for another kids' activity. The community center.
You couldn't move in here.
Yes, you couldn't. Everywhere that we had something set up in here, we had next year. We won't put as many things in here, but I mean, it was so packed. I mean, we were shoulder to shoulder. We were shoulder to shoulder at the Mad Hatter, and we didn't have anything going on over there except for just food. And at the craft show, shoulder to shoulder. I mean, you could not hardly move. And the streets and the petting zoo and everything. Everybody ran out of food. The food truck, the Masons that did the popcorn, everybody ran out. I mean, because we had people coming from all over the state.
And the weather was perfect.
The weather was perfect, and we have really big shoes to fill next year, because it was an amazing success. So I did want to thank everybody, and I know there's the Masons, I think I said that, and poor Tom Corbin got hit by a car the very next day. I did speak to him today. He is doing pretty well. Over at the Masons, I do want to tell everybody they had a breakfast with Santa this past Saturday. Even though the electric was out the first hour or so of the event, he said they eventually, he said he thinks they served like 500 people.
Oh, my
Ended
word.
up that day. I think 100 and some sat on Santa's lap, and then with family and everybody, and they were giving out kettle corn. So if you missed it like I did Saturday, then go to, and they're having another breakfast with Santa next Saturday. So I believe it's 9 to noon. So everybody's welcome, and he said everything's free. You get your breakfast, the kids get kettle corn, and I think a candy cane. So the Masons are another very generous group in the community. So hopefully, one last chance to get those pictures with Santa Claus, that people go this Saturday from 9 to noon. And let's see here. Thanks to, you know, the village put together a nice display on the vehicle, even though we couldn't get the lights on.
Oopsie.
I know they worked really hard too. I want to do a shout out to them the end of the year. They put up all the holiday flags. They put up some lights here in Town Hall and changed the bulbs on we're sitting right here behind our snowman on those light posts. And those are two really good guys we have, Aaron and George. So when you see them, thank them, because I'm sure they'll be working really hard when the snow comes too. So that's all I really have.
Anyone else? Yeah, so, yeah, I think we're done for 2021. Hopefully, Mother Nature doesn't have any more, like, horrible things to throw at us, but until next year, everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you all.
We are adjourned. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you. We look forward to working with you.
Hey, David, you forgot
Oh,
to
did I
sign,
miss one? Okay, I'll get it.
Let me go ahead and shut this. Whoops.
Yeah.
Let me shut
Probably
this
have
off.
your little slide thing if you want it. This little slide thing.
Put it on your office at home.
Maybe because I have a red nose.